Welcome back to a new video. It is Owlbee, and before I start this video, I have sad news. So, I opened up my computer today. Yes, I'm telling y'all a personal thing. I opened up my computer today and found that the inside of this screen was broken. So I don't think I'm going to post as often because of it, because I need my screen to play more games, but I will try my best to post. But it's not just the screen being broken, it's a nostalgic thing because I've had it since I was 8 years old, so yeah. But, with that said, let's start the video. Hey everyone, so I know I already made an opening, but I forgot to introduce somebody for this reaction episode, so introduce yourself.
Hello, it is me, Kaynu. I'm Albee's father.
Yes, I have a father, guys.
I'm from Britain.
No, you're okay. Anyways, we are going to be reacting to, if I can see, which I can't, because this. No! No. I-M-R Scary Tales. It is an animated horror story content thing. We are not doing the whole 2 hours because that is
2 hours.
We're not doing that.
It's like a setup.
We're not doing all of that, but we are going to be reacting to some of the videos in this video by IMR Scary Animations. There we go. Look at my brain go. I'm educated. I would hope so. Anyways, yeah, so grab your snacks. Don't mean to quote Corey Kenshin. I'm sorry, I've been watching him a lot lately. Actually, since I mentioned Corey Kenshin, we love Corey Kenshin. We support Corey Kenshin on this channel.
Agreed.
Yes, but grab your snacks. I got a banana, Doritos, Capri Sun, and I'm going to steal some crackers.
Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Anyways, let's get started.
The day I found that old smartphone tucked in the crevice of a bench in the park marked the beginning of a nightmare I never anticipated. It was an older model, but in surprisingly good condition. I figured it had been lost or misplaced. No one was around to claim it, so I took it home, thinking I'd done a good deed by rescuing it from potential damage. The lies we tell ourselves, to be honest. That night, after charging the device, curiosity got the better of me. I powered it on, intending to find a contact or a clue to its owner. Instead, I found it factory reset, clean of any personal data. Odd.
That is odd. Very odd indeed. Why did you not just give it to the police, though? Can't they just, find the owner?
But not alarming. It was the Snapchat app that caught my attention. The app was there, among the standard set of utilities, almost beckoning. I created a throwaway account, aimlessly scrolling through filters and lenses, until one particular filter stopped me dead in my tracks. It didn't add funny ears or distort my face comically. Instead, it revealed a figure standing behind me, transparent but undeniably human-shaped. I whipped around, heart racing, but found nothing. I laughed it off, convincing myself it was a trick of the light or a clever prank embedded in the app. The laughter died in my throat when the figure appeared again the next day. Closer this time, its features more defined, an expression of sorrow etched into the face that hovered over my shoulder. No matter where I went, turning up, I stopped smoking so much weed. I muttered to myself, but the seed of fear had already been planted. I tried to delete the app, but it wouldn't budge. Each attempt was met with an error, the digital equivalent of a stubborn refusal. That night, the whispers started, faint at first, like a radio tuned to a station's static and murmurs. I couldn't make out the words, but their presence was enough to keep me awake, staring at the ceiling, jumping at shadows. By the third day, the phenomena escalated. The figure began to appear outside the confines of the Snapchat filter, glimpsed in the reflection of windows and mirrors, always a blur of motion in the corner of my eye. I heard my name, whispered with a sigh, the voice feminine and filled with an ache that resonated in my bones. "You can't be real," I said aloud, desperation coloring my tone. The response was a cool breeze, swirling around me in a room with closed windows. The breaking point came when messages began to appear on the phone, not through any app, but directly on the screen.
Help me.
The first one read, simple and chilling. Then,
He's coming for you too.
I sought out help, showing the phone and its unexplained phenomena to a friend Alex who specialized in tech. "Xavier, this doesn't make sense," Alex said, scrolling through the device with a frown. "There's nothing here, just a standard OS and apps. This Snapchat thing, it's just an app. It can't do what you're saying." "But I saw it, Alex. It's happening," I insisted, frustration mounting as the figure appeared once again on the screen, its sorrowful eyes locking with mine. Alex looked at me, concern etched in his features. Okay, let's assume for a second this is real. What do you want to do about it?" I didn't have an answer. All I knew was that I was caught in a web of digital and spectral horror, the origins of which were as mysterious as the phone itself. Little did I know, the worst was yet to come. The following days blurred into a relentless stream of terror. The apparition, now a constant presence in my life, began to manifest with increasing aggression. Objects around my house moved on their own. Books tumbling from shelves, doors slamming shut, lights flickering on and off in Morse code of madness. The phone, my conduit to this nightmare, became my jailer, its screen flashing with messages at all hours, each more desperate than the last. At night, just as I started descending into sleep, I started feeling like someone was holding on to my legs. Yet when I would wake up with a jolt, there would be nothing. One evening, as I tried to capture evidence of this haunting on video, the air turned icy, breath visible in the warmth of my living room. The figure materialized in the camera, closer than ever before, its face twisted in a silent scream. Then, without warning, the phone flew from my hands, smashing against the wall with force that seemed beyond human capability. I stood frozen, watching its crack spidered across the screen. Yet, it remained lit, the figure's eyes boring into mine. "Leave me alone!" I shouted into the emptiness, my voice a mix of anger and fear. No response came, only the sound of my own ragged breathing. Sleep became an elusive dream, each night a battle against shadows. I confided in Alex again, his skepticism waning in the face of my deteriorating state. "Okay, let's tackle this head on," Alex said, determination replacing doubt. "We document everything. If it's a ghost, there has to be a reason it's attached to that phone, and to you." Armed with cameras and a myriad of electronic devices, Alex set up a makeshift command center in my home. We waited, the atmosphere charged with anticipation and dread. The night grew deep, and just when I thought the entity might withhold its torment, the temperature plummeted. The cameras captured orbs of light darting across the room, and the phone, despite its shattered screen, lit up with a new message.
Behind you.
We turned, slowly, to face the empty space behind us, only to watch in horror as a dark figure materialized, its details clearer now in the dim light. A woman, her expression one of profound sorrow and fear, her mouth moving in silent pleas. Alex whispered, his voice tinged with awe and terror. The figure pointed to the phone, then to the door, a clear message she wanted us to follow. We did, driven by a mix of fear and an overwhelming need to understand. The path led us through the park and off labyrinthian streets to an old, decrepit building, its history etched into the crumbling facade. Inside, the air was thick with the weight of untold stories. The figure led us to a hidden room, its walls covered in old newspaper clippings about a woman who vanished without a trace years ago. A news article mentioned that her friend had received snaps from her moments before she lost contact, and in the clip was her smartphone, its model matching the one I'd found, only broken, like it had been in a terrible accident. The realization hit me like a physical blow. The phone was hers. Snapchat was probably the last thing she was using, and somehow her spirit was still stuck with that. Someone must have used the phone, and when they realized that it was haunted, they probably left it in the park. As dawn broke, the apparition faded, her message delivered, but the haunting didn't end with her departure. The phone, now a relic of a tragic tale, continued to flicker with life, a reminder of the thin veil between our world and the next. In the end, Alex and I were left with more questions than answers. What happened to her? Could we ever find the truth? The digital haunting ceased, but the shadows remained, a chilling testament to the mystery that had briefly entwined our lives with the spectral. Who was collecting all that info on her? And would we ever see her again? A week later, I dropped off the phone at the site, only to find her same friend there, who was still on a quest to find her and collecting all information. I left the phone with her.
So, I'm sorry, but why did you not dig a hole and put the phone in there? Because now some other stupid person is now going to grab the phone.
That's just the way of life. It's the way of life.
We can have one smart person?
And one who doesn't pick up the phone.
Yeah, but still. No, he's still gonna get haunted his whole life, so you might as well keep everybody else.
He deserves it. Well deserved.
Okay.
Did it.
Okay.
Our honeymoon in Vegas was supposed to be a celebration of our quirks, a toast to our mutual love for the macabre and gothic. When we found a horror-themed suite in an offbeat Vegas hotel, it seemed like destiny. The room was draped in velvet, walls lined with vintage horror movie posters, and eerie, lifelike statues that could make you jump if caught by the corner of your eye. Mark and I, both ardent horror enthusiasts from Boston, were thrilled.
It's like stepping into another world.
I told him. The first sign that something was off came when we met the hotel clerk during check-in. He was a gaunt figure, his skin sallow and eyes a bit too bright. Enjoy your stay, and remember, not everything is as it seems, he said with a cryptic smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. We laughed it off, attributing it to the hotel's ambiance. That night, as we settled in, the suite's charm morphed subtly into something.
I'm sorry. My mind is somewhere else right now. Why is your voice a men's voice. I know your actor is like a men's voice actor, but y'all couldn't have found a woman's voice actor for the woman? Come on.
All we have to be off.
Good point. We need that sometimes.
More sinister. It started with the lights. They flickered erratically, casting shadows that seemed to writhe along the walls. Probably just bad wiring, Mark said, but his voice held an edge of uncertainty. Around midnight, the real terror began. The sound system, which we hadn't touched, blared to life, filling the room with the haunting sounds of a vintage horror film score. Mark went to turn it off, but the system was unresponsive. Then, the figures around the room seemed to shift slightly, as if coming to life. We chuckled nervously, trying to shake off the unease. But then we heard the first real scare. A loud, deliberate bang on the door. Mark cautiously approached and opened it.
And it was the FBI. FBI, open up! Why you laugh? Breathe! Are you okay? What happened?
He heard loud banging on the door, so he opened it. Okay. You were safe. The door was locked. You were good. Now you let it in.
Yeah. Also, why does this hotel not have a peephole? Why does it not have a peephole?
I mean, old school, I guess.
I don't care. You should have a peephole before I make one.
All you had to do was say, who is it? It's me, the ghost. Okay, not answering today.
No, because if you respond to a ghost, it can still haunt you.
You are not welcome here. No, you cannot haunt me. Okay.
Only to find no one there. As he turned back, the air filled with a sinister, guttural laugh from the sound system, sending chills down my spine.
We should have stayed at a normal hotel.
I half-joked, trying to lighten the mood, but Mark didn't respond. He was staring at something behind us. I turned to see one of the statues, its head now unervingly turned toward.
I was gonna say something, and then here you come. Hey, what is this? Also, right after that, I hope y'all are running out of there. 'Cause what?
After walking into the person who gave him the room key and all that, I would have walked out of there.
Yeah.
Not with you looking like that, sir.
That's mean.
Life is mean, clearly.
Gus, eyes that seemed too lifelike.
That wasn't like that before, was it?
I whispered, my heart starting to race. We decided to call the front desk.
Also, always a helpful tip. If you're in a hotel, always take a picture of how your room is before you leave it. So, you know, if anybody broke in, if anybody came in without your permission, like house cleaning, always take a picture of your hotel room, so you know if anything is different.
But the phone line crackled and died the moment I picked up the receiver. That's when panic truly set in. The room grew colder, and the statue seemed to inch closer every time we looked away. We huddled together on the bed, watching as the door handle began to turn slowly. Mark grabbed the nearest thing, a heavy lamp ready to swing. The door creaked open, revealing the silhouette of a man, the same hotel clerk from earlier, but now his eyes were wild, his mouth twisted in a horrifying grin. Welcome to the real horror show. Hope you have a good ride. He hissed, stepping into the room with an unsettling calmness. His hands were empty, but his presence was threatening enough. He began muttering to himself about needing to purge the impurities and how we were the perfect tribute. Mark lunged at him with the lamp, catching him off guard and knocking him back. The clerk scrambled up, his face contorted in rage, and hurled himself at Mark.
Alright, look, I see them fighting. Dude is not protecting the cashier. Run downstairs, open up the cashier, grab the money, leave everything you had before, but make sure you put it in the car, and then you start the car, go back out. Wait, don't start the car and leave the keys in. Wait. Yeah, drop the money off. Go help your husband. Go drive off, and now you're rich. You rich and you escaped bad things. Oh, and don't forget to say, hey, ghosties, ghosty woasties, bye bye bye. Alright? No following. That's not nice.
They crashed into one of the statues, sending it toppling over with a crash that echoed through the room. I screamed, trying to pull the madman off Mark, but he was surprised.
Because the statues are haunted. That's dumb. Now the spirit's gonna be mad at them for breaking it. Yeah, you're right.
Isaac was strong, his fingers digging into Mark's arm, drawing blood. He then licked his bloody hands.
Now it's infected.
Bitter blood tastes better. He shrieked, spit flying from his mouth. The fight was brutal and desperate. The hotel clerk, with his deranged strength, seemed nearly impossible to subdue. Mark grappled with him, trying to use his own weight to pin the man down, but the clerk's madness lent him a terrifying frenzy. Amidst the chaos, I spotted a shard from the broken statue. With no time to hesitate, I grabbed it, my hands trembling.
Get off him!
I yelled, my voice hoarse with fear. The sharp edge of the shard glinted in the flickering light as I swung it, managing to catch the clerk on his forearm. He howled in pain, the sound so animalistic it froze my blood. The distraction was enough. Mark shoved him off, and we scrambled away, positioning ourselves between the door and the madman.
Leave?
Go! Leave!
Positioning ourselves between the door and the No, walk out.
Go, walk.
Obviously, run.
Run! Go to the cashier, take that money. You're leaving everything behind. You need more money. So get that money, run, and then buy some new phones. And
reconsider your life choices.
yeah.
Blood, both Mark's and the clerk's, stained the ornate carpet, adding a grim reality to the horror-themed decor. The clerk, clutching his bleeding arm, glared at us with unhinged eyes. It's just a show, fella. It's so unusual to have such gorgeous couples like yourselves grace this little abode which I built, an ode to the macabre. How do you like this, sweet? Oh, wait, you haven't seen my collection yet. Fingernails. When you die, your skin shrinks, so your hair and nails keep growing, love. I have collected some brilliant fingernails. Dark, muddy, bloodied. Come on, love.
How about you worry about your own body before you start messing with others?
I don't think they're saving any of that.
Yeah, you're right. He should, yeah.
Come with me. Let me show you my precious collection. Walk with me. Screamed, his voice echoing unnervingly around the room. His demeanor shifted then, as if he were listening to some unseen advisor. His next words were chillingly calm. Oh, babe, don't worry. You'll become a part of the collection, too.
We're leaving and we're calling the police.
I declared, my voice steadier than I felt. I had to bluff, as our phones were dead, and the room seemed designed to be a trap. Mark nodded, moving slowly to the door, never taking his eyes off the clerk. Come near us again, and I swear I'll finish this. He growled, the threat clear in his tone. The clerk seemed to consider this. Then, with a disturbing smile, he backed away, disappearing into the shadows of the hallway as if he could...
Y'all are both dumb. See, he can look at the clerk and be walking backwards. You need to be looking forwards so you know where you're going.
Yeah, not them at this point. That's good.
Melt into the darkness itself. We didn't wait to see if he would return. Grabbing our essentials, we bolted from the room, not stopping to look back until we...
How big is this room?
Yeah, I thought they're out the room.
They're just getting out the room. Huh?
reached the lobby. Breathless and disheveled, we burst into the brightly lit front desk area, startling the night manager. Our story tumbled out incoherently, but the sight of our injuries and our genuine terror convinced him to call the police immediately. Officers arrived within minutes, their presence a stark relief against the night's horrors. They listened intently, their expressions growing graver by the minute. Upon searching the hotel, they found the clerk in a hidden room behind the reception area, surrounded by monitors displaying various rooms, not just ours. It turned out he had been watching and recording guests for months, his psyche deteriorating into madness, fueled by an obsession with horror and surveillance. The resolution came swiftly after that. The clerk was arrested, his room of horror sealed off as evidence. We were treated for our injuries and given a new room in a different hotel, this time a brightly lit, cheerful place that couldn't be further from our original nightmarish choice. In the aftermath, Mark and I clung to each other, our honeymoon forever marked by the ordeal. Yet through that terror, our bond had only strengthened, a stark contrast to the darkness we had endured. We had survived the sweet horror, but more importantly, we had survived it together. As we finally settled into sleep, the first calm night since our arrival, I realized the true depth of our vows. In sickness and in health, in horror and in peace, we were united. And nothing, no psycho, no horror-themed nightmare could ever change that.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
But y'all were stupid for choosing that time.
Yeah. Well, that was the video, because that was a lot. No, it wasn't. But
It wasn't a lot. It was a lot of dumb, but it was a
yeah,
lot.
it was a lot. Yeah, so don't be stupid.
Yeah, that's the lesson of the day, folks.
Do you have anything to say before we go?
No, I don't have anything to add to anything.
Okay.
You good?
Well, yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys are having an awesome, amazing day or night or afternoon, whatever time of day it is. And I will post later. Bye.